Good evening, everybody. I hope you are well. I am here. We're going to get started in a couple of minutes. We'll just wait for everybody to join, and then we'll get started on tonight's session, which is about selling through Facebook. I'm going to show you a very simple strategy you can employ right now to help grow your Facebook page, build some relationships. Hi, Sulisman. It's a very, very straightforward strategy you can use, and I'm going to show you this tonight on this session. So please do buckle up. We will get onto this in a second. We'll just wait for everybody to arrive, and then we will get moving. So let me know that you're here and I can hear you, and we will start in a couple of minutes. But this session tonight is a session run by Oxlep Business. Oxlep is a local area partnership in the UK. How's my audio now, Alice? Is that better? Hopefully this is better, and we will get started in a couple of minutes' time. So if you're wanting to promote yourself on Facebook, you're wanting to build your business on Facebook, it can be very frustrating putting these together, doing the work on Facebook and not really getting any results. So what we've done is we've put together a very simple strategy that you can use, and some if you've been on any of our courses before, you may have heard this one before, but it's a great simple thing that you can do that will get you results on Facebook. So we'll start and get on with it, and the latecomers will join us and miss the first bit. So off we go. Please do let us know in the chat that you're here so that we can interact with you and let you know. But here we go. So this is a very, there's no sales pitch tonight. This is just training to help you. So do not stress, do not worry. It's all good. So this is what we're going to go through tonight. So please do ask your questions in the chat, and don't forget to subscribe if you get some value from us on this session. So this is what we're going to cover. There's some background, the one strategy, the checklist, hook, incubate and hatch, a ladder, 4 stages to action, big gun content, forget the today's offer, 7 steps to implement now, and some Q&A. So that's what we're going to go through. There's no offer today. Sorry, that's a typo in my presentation. So that's what we're going to dig into tonight. Everybody there still with me, please let me know in the chat. Okay, so this strategy we're going to teach you with Facebook today is ideal for people who are not very good at or don't like making cold calls. They want to get business, don't feel like a natural seller, and this is how I did it. Needed to hit numbers and didn't really have a choice. And this is a great strategy that's not pushy, not too aggressive, and doesn't feel awkward to do. So that's some of our things that we looked at. And again, this has worked for us and worked for our clients. I don't implement this strategy so much these days just because I'm doing a lot on LinkedIn, but I do it intermittently and it works a lot. So it does work for me. So just a couple of principles as we get into this. Marketing's all about being in the right place for the right time. That's wrong. Totally wrong way of thinking about marketing. Marketing is actually about being in the right place for the right time. So it's not being in the right place at the right time. Look, it's actually about being in the right place for the right time. And a lot of people fail in marketing or feel like they're not getting their money's worth because they're not being in the spaces for long enough to get traction. They're not doing enough stuff to build memorability in their customers' mind. So marketing's a long-term game. This strategy tonight will give you some quick wins. And we've got a ton of testimonials about this strategy and implementing it. So it will work for you, but don't expect it to sometimes it doesn't feel like it will work, but it will work if you implement and be in the right place for the right time. So you don't need any fancy stuff. There's always somebody selling technology or some new gadget. This is a very straightforward way that you can do it. No technology, no secret hacks. It's just a very simple strategy you can employ tonight or tomorrow. It's that straightforward, and it works. So the one strategy, and this is where we're coming from, it's something that we believe as a business that we tell clients to think about and students to think about, and it's the one strategy. And it's this: if people believe you, they will buy. If people believe you can solve their problem, they will buy from you. So to get more sales, your ideal clients, whoever you're going after, whoever you're pursuing in business, needs to believe that you can solve their problem. And if you do that, you win the business. It's that simple. You know, we can complicate it and make it all kind of complicated stuff in there, but to get more sales, your ideal clients need to believe that you can solve their problem. And if you do that, you win. Dead simple. So how do you encourage people to believe that you can solve their problem? So despite all the gurus on the internet, you need to build rapport. People need to think that you're not like everybody else and you're a decent person or company. You need to build trust. Nobody buys from somebody they don't trust. You need to build demand. You're not kind of sell. You're attracting people to your proposition. You need to be credible. They need to believe that you can do what you say you can do. You need to be likable. And you need to build expert status. These are really critical elements to making this work. So we'll go into this in a bit more detail as we go, but without belief, nobody buys is effectively what you need to understand. So often what you see is people trying to sell really quickly without building any belief. And when that happens, the sales process is a struggle or a battle. When what you really want is to build belief and the sales process becomes smooth and simple and straightforward. So this strategy on Facebook's been massively overcomplicated, and, you know, do this, do that, do the other. This is one thing you can do, and you could literally forget everything else. Now, this won't work if you want to build a £10 million business on Facebook, but it will work for a small business, medium-sized business, a salesperson, a marketing person that's trying to build out some custom and do it in a very easy and relationship-driven way. It's very, very straightforward. So a couple of quick checklists of what you'll need for this. So number one, you'll need a Facebook personal profile. Facebook personal profile. That's really important. Now, people say, well, surely a business should do this on a page. Well, Facebook's evolved quite a bit over the last 14 years. And it started out as very personal and pages business. But now it's kind of merged. It's very different these days. People are far more integrated between their private life and their work life. So you will need a Facebook personal profile for this strategy. Now, if you're worried about your personal life merging with your professional life, you can create a second Facebook profile, which is your Dean Seddon work account. And then you've got your Dean Seddon personal account with your photos of your kids and all that kind of stuff on. You don't have to do that, but if you want to keep the world separate, that's a good way to do it. Then you need a solid ideal client profile, an ICP. Without that, you can't understand the value you can offer for the rest of the strategy. So if you don't understand your ICP, ideal client profile, you won't be able to do this very successfully. It's a bit like trying to open a shop and then try and just sell to anybody. There are people who will buy from you because you're convenient, you're local, all of these different things. So start to map out an ideal client profile. And sometimes people say, well, I've got lots of different ideal client profiles. How do I do it to all of them? And what I'm going to suggest to you is that you may need to think about it in silos or seasons. So a silo being that you do different activities in different days with your profile, or seasons is where you focus on one particular ideal client profile for a period of time, whether that be a month, 3 months, a year, and build out from there. But the reason I'm saying focus on one initially is so that you can focus and be really clear and really relevant so that you get the results quicker. The more vague, the more generalized, the more broad you are, the more difficult it will be to make any strategy on marketing work. So you need to be quite tight at the beginning in terms of your ideal client profile. Then you'll also need a compelling first offer. Now, this doesn't have to be a digital product, but it needs to be something that starts the sales process. So it could be a download, it could be a guide, these could be free, it could be a discovery call where you help the client, it could be a demo, it could be something that shows them that there's an opportunity to explore the value you can bring. So that's really, really important. And then you need some big gun content. Now, big gun content is actually built off your ideal client profile. So if no ideal client profile, you won't be able to create big gun content. And finally, you're going to need to be consistent, and you're going to need to devote some time. Not a huge amount of time, but some time. The more time and consistency you put in, the more outcomes you get, the more meetings and conversations and engagements with ideal target customers you will have. Now, some people say to me, "Oh, how can I do this without spending the time?" Well, if we could all do that, we'd all be rich, and we all wouldn't work, and we'd all have swimming pools and servants who do everything for us. But sadly, there are lots of people peddling that, but you will have to put the work in. Maybe roundabout, if you really want to get it quickly in the next, say, 4 or 5 weeks, you might have to put an hour a day. And you can do that in the evening. You can do it in the morning. The great thing about social media is that customers are on there, whether it's office hours or it's not. So you could say, well, actually, I'm going to put aside a bit of my day to do this and a bit of my evening, maybe half an hour in the day and half an hour in the evening. But it does work. Okay, so if you want the slides from tonight, please, could you just let me know in the messages below? If you want to comment in the chat and say you'd like a copy of the slides, we'll get the copy of the slides to you. But in the meantime, or you can email us and we will give you a copy of the slides, whichever you prefer. This is a very simple strategy for developing business on Facebook. So it's a hook, incubate, and hatch strategy. Hook, incubate, and hatch. So it's really, really simple, very, very straightforward, and we'll show you how this works. Hook, incubate, and hatch. And if you want to kind of implement this straight away, maybe make some notes as you go so that you can just go through it straight away. So hook, incubate, and hatch. So we're going to hook people in the Facebook groups by asking questions and engaging with people. So that's really important. Engagement is what makes social media work. So we're going to use groups, we're going to ask a lot of questions, and we're going to get engagement. And we're going to deliberately engage with people on that basis. Then we're going to incubate. So we're going to build relationships. We're going to interact with those people that we've hooked, and we're going to build those relationships. And then we're going to hatch. We're going to use content and engagement and our ladder to take that person from they didn't know us at hook stage to they now know us, trust us, and want to buy from us. Everybody good with that? That's the strategy we're going to deliver tonight. Hook, incubate, hatch. So a ladder, in this scenario, the ladder here is what we're going to do is take you from people don't know who you are to they trust you, and you're selling your services, building your customer base through your Facebook personal profile, even if it's a second one for business. So that's how we'll do it. People say, well, how can I do this with my Facebook page? Now, to understand Facebook pages, you have to think about the business model of Facebook. Facebook's business model is people are there for free, pages have to pay. Pages have to pay, people are there for free. Facebook's revenue comes from pages paying for their visibility. Facebook pages pay for their visibility. So they've deliberately made it more difficult for a page to do this strategy. They want you to pay. So you can try and get around that, but effectively Facebook's business model is built on making you pay for your page to be visible. That's simple. But your profile is very, very different. Your profile is really important, and that's the way you do things for free. So that's why I'm talking about a profile, not a page. So we're going to take you from an unknown quantity up the ladder so that you're selling through Facebook, B2B or B2C. So this is what we've got to understand now. Before we get into the detail, I've got the 7 steps of this strategy that I will give you step by step at the end of this session. And if you've got questions, please do put them in the chat and I'll answer them at the end. And also, let us know where you're from here, because it's from my point of view, this is live, but I'm looking at a camera lens and 2 screens in silence. So it would be really interesting to hear where you're from, the businesses that you're involved in, so I can get a flavour of it. And as we go through the demos, you'll get to see a bit about me, because we're going to do some demos on my Facebook page. Profile, sorry. So there's 4 stages to action. So don't forget to put in the chat where you're from. That'd be great, so I can see that you're all alive. You've not fallen asleep. 4 stages to action. So customers have problems. Yeah, they have challenges, frustrations. They wish they could do something better. All of these things they carry around with them. And sometimes they don't realize them, and sometimes they do. But they live with those problems. So people live with leaky taps. They live with creaking floorboards, all of those things, until they realize there's another way. So if I'm a busy business owner and I'm struggling for time, for an example, I will live that way until I see a way other people are doing it differently. And that's the outcome. So I learn, as a business owner, I live with the problem. I think it's normal. And then I discover that there's another way, whether that be I see somebody else doing it, or I see an advert, or I see something else, or I discover a piece of technology, whatever. I'll see that there's another way. Somebody else show it to me. And hint, hint, by the way, that's you. You're going to show your customers they have a problem and there is another way. Because every business, every product, every service, every solution, B2C, B2B, helps customers solve a problem. It gives them an outcome. The reason why we have shops, corner shops, is for convenience. People want to go to the shop and they want to go quickly. Yeah, they don't want the hassle of driving somewhere distant to get a pint of milk. Yeah, that's how a business works. It finds a problem, even sometimes good problems. I want to I want to plan for my future. How do I protect my finances so I have a good retirement? They are problems that we all deal with, how to do the best decisions and things like that. And then we see outcomes, and those outcomes highlight our problem because we can see there's a better way. People are telling us there's a better way. But then comes the thing that they have to make a choice. They know there's a problem, they know there's outcomes, but are they prepared to do anything about it? Are they prepared to make a change? Some customers and prospective customers will sit on the fence forever, never making a decision, all the time, living with the problem, knowing they could have a better outcome. But when they do make a decision, then they have to find a solution that solves the problem. Again, hint, hint, that's you. So they have a problem. You might help them see their problem. Then you might see how they don't have to have the problem. They have an outcome. Then you've got to help them see that a decision is important and can make a difference. And then you've got to show them a solution that they can grab hold of and will deliver value for them. Without those 4 stages, there is no buying. It doesn't happen. People don't buy without a problem. They don't buy unless there's an outcome. If they don't buy if they don't make a decision, and they don't buy if there's no solution. You need all four together. Abbreviated here as PODS. So 4 stages to action. And those 4 stages to action are actually your indicators of what you should be writing about in your content. So I've got some examples here of how you can structure content to get to talk to ideal customers about what your service offers without being pushy. So let's say, for an example, I'm on Facebook and I want to write a post. I could write a post about, are you fed up of hunting for clients? And I could detail a little bit more about the frustrations of it. And I could talk about the problem and why businesses have that problem. Then I could do another post about the outcome and talk about how people can and some of the reasons why and how people are getting, not the detailed strategy, but some of the ways people can get 10 clients per month, for an example. And then I can talk about content which encourages a decision to change, not a decision to buy, a decision to change. And that's what we're looking for, a decision to change. People are going, I am now committed. I am not going to continue to live with this problem when there's another outcome. So are you ready to quit scrounging for work on new business? And then the solution, I can help you get 10 clients in the next 45 days. 4 very simple pieces of content, but you'll notice the majority of them are questions, because when people are looking at the post, your posts, they will need to understand the post as it applies to them. So you should be talking to them like a one person, and that's where your ideal client profile matters, because you're then talking to one person. Do you get frustrated by X, Y, or Z? And that's how you structure your pods, PODS, big gun content. So you've got these things that make decision, and then these are also your tools to make content. So again, takes a little bit of work before we get into the strategy, but have a think about these, and it will help you no end in writing the content for your Facebook posts as we implement the hook, incubate, and hatch. Everybody's still with me on how to do this. Hopefully you're all still awake. It's a Wednesday night, midweek slump, all of that. So this is just a testimonial of somebody who's done this with us, and they're a video editor. We taught them this process, and they actually closed some business, £28,000 worth of business in the first month. It was very, very, very quick because they'd done the content right. It's not just about posting, it's about doing the right things and saying the right things and structuring it to talk to their need, to talk to their outcome, their decision, and their solution. So you have to pull all of these things together and use them in your content. So here's the crux of the strategy, and then I'm going to show you some demos of this in real time. So the first things first, we have the no promo zone. The no promo zone. So in this point, in this stage here, you cannot promote your service, your product, or your solution. You can't do it. So step 1, and again, if you want to write these down, write them down, and then we can always kind of come back to them, or you can get the slides, but write them down so you can use it. So number 1, adapt your personal profile or create your new work profile, your profile, Facebook profile. Join groups on Facebook where your target audience are. And then post big gun questions in the group and engage with the respondents. So let's say I joined a group of business owners on Facebook, and I was a VA or I was something, and I'll show you all the different groups. So again, there's a few people on tonight. So if you wanted to share your kind of business or industry in the comments, I will do some examples in the demo to show you how this works. So if you go, we help manufacturers automate their production lines, for an example, or we sell printing to the leisure market, leisure hotels or what have you. Tell me in the comments what it is you do, and I will show you how you do this on Facebook in the real demos we're going to go through in a second. So you join the groups where your target audience are, and then you post big gun questions in the group and engage with the respondents. So what's a big gun question? Well, let's think about posts. What can we post? Well, we've got the problem. So let's say I'm posting, Terry's put, she sells printing and promotional items. So promotional items, for an example, they're a great way to get for companies to be remembered by their customers. And it's a novel touch point with their customers. So one of Terry's examples could be, do you want to be remembered by your customers after the sale? Do you want to have something with your brand on people's desks? Yeah, things like that. So think about the questions that would help people understand the problems they might be facing. So if Terry wants to sell promotional products to businesses, what is it that they're buying those for? They're trying to create more touch points with their customers because they want more business. They want to retain their customers. They want to show their customers they care. All of those things. They want to keep their brand in front of their customers. So again, very simple pain points and frustrations. That's what they want to achieve. So what's the negative of what the outcome is? If you can list the benefits of your service, you can find the problem by just inverting the benefit into the opposite. So if the benefit is you get more customer loyalty, do you find that you have low customer loyalty? Think about the problems like that. So you'd post big gun questions in the group and engage with the respondents, but you will not promote your service in the groups because most groups say no promotion. It's a naughty, don't promote in the groups. You can post and ask questions and build networks in there and interact with the members, but you cannot promote yourself in the groups. And you will upset people if you do that, to the point where some people might actually throw you out of groups. So you must not promote your services in the groups. Just be part of the community and regularly ask questions that draws out the people who are facing the frustrations and the challenges and want the outcomes that your product, your service, or solution solves. So you're engaging. By that I mean liking when they comment on the post and replying to their comments on that post. So you're creating conversations with people who are actually saying something about the problems and pains and frustrations that you're talking about that your product, service, or solution solves. So again, that's what you do. So you interact and interact and interact. And also engage with people who post in those groups that match your ideal client profile and engage with any popular posts. So really be part of those groups, yeah? But deliberately do it particularly with your ideal clients. That's really, really important. And then anybody you have a meaningful interaction with, so you comment and like theirs and they like yours, or they comment and reply to you, send them a friend request. It's very unlikely they will decline that if they've had a meaningful conversation with you. Very, very unlikely that they will decline that. So you will get the Facebook profile, and now your Facebook profile is filling up with people who have identified with the problem or the outcome that your product, service, or solution solves. Yeah? So very, very simple. You're building up these people on your Facebook profile, your work Facebook profile. So that's the no promo zone. So the promo zone is your profile. So on your profile, you can now share promotional content, links to your website, adverts for what you're doing, but you can share big gun content on your profile and mix it up with some more personal things too. You can't be business, 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 because otherwise people don't get to know you and get a flavor of you and who you are, And people buy from people. They don't buy from faceless brands. So people buy from people. So you write content, tips, guides, how-tos, do some videos, sharing your tips about how to get the best from promotional merchandise, how to choose the right promotional gifts for your customers, anything like that you share. And occasionally you can drop those people a message and just say, hey, great to be friends on Facebook. If you need any promotional products, I'd love to have a chance to quote for what you're offering. Very, very low key, very non-pushy. But the aim is that you use your big gun content, problem, outcome, decision, solution, and your compelling first offer, which could be for Terry, for an example, it could be actually a promotional offer that's discounted, maybe pens or something like that you could put out, and it's a low cost and easy offer that people go, actually, this is a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer offer. So you can do things like that. And because you're deliberately interacting with these people, you're building a rapport, you're building a relationship, you're building interactions. And people go, well, why do I have to interact with people? You want people to become familiar with your name. You want people to be familiar with you as a person. You want people to say you're not just some random person. You want them to be familiar. So that's really, really important that you build those interaction and like and comment and react and comment to build up that pattern. But also from an algorithm point of view, all social media is driven by computers and machines, and they decide who sees what. So when you're interacting with each other like that, you actually build up a pattern where the algorithm goes, oh, these two people get on well, so I'll make sure these people see each other often. So just by interacting with people regularly, it increases the visibility of you to them and them to you. So it's really important that you do that likes and comments both ways. So it's really important that you do that. Alice has just asked a question of, what is a pain point in lace and linens, all beautiful things? Well, Alice, I'm sure if you think about the benefits of buying from you, why do people buy from you? You think about that and go, if people are buying from you, why are they buying from you? What's the benefits of buying from you? And then look at, what are the things that people in your marketplace, perhaps competitors, don't do as well as you? What are the problems that come from buying elsewhere? What are the challenges that people face from coming elsewhere? And are there lots of people selling, on eBay and Amazon and the quality isn't as good? So perhaps you're joining particular craft groups, I don't know, and you talk about quality products and how do you decide what's a quality product on an online auction or on a large corporate site. So think about those things. What are the things that competitors might not be doing as well as you? What are the benefits of working from you? And then find the problems from that. That's the easiest way to do it. So does everybody get the 7 steps there? There's the no promo zone 5, and then there's the promo zone 2. And you just work this process over and over and over again. So somebody asked me today about this, about how to implement this strategy. And I said, well, let's think about it like this. Let's say you've got 8 questions, and you find 8 Facebook groups. You're going to go and post in one of those groups for the next 8 days, or 8 posting days. If you don't want to do every day, 8 posting days. So you'll have 8 questions and 8 groups. That means you've got 64 posting days from 8 questions. So you use 8 questions in 8 groups, 64 total posts, with them, a lot of them being duplicated but in different groups. Each one of them, if you really understand your ideal client profile and the pains and the outcomes that your product, service and solution solves, you will be able to bring in 4-5 people every post. 4 to 5 people every post, because if you're talking to your ideal client in the right group, your content, your question that you put in there will be very pertinent, very relevant, very timely, because they're facing those challenges, or they're frustrated with that problem, or they wish they had that, or they wish they didn't have to do it this way. So you put that together and you've got, if you did it every day, over 2 months worth of activity, 64 days, which means in 64 days, if it was 5 people, you've just grown your audience of target customers by 300 people in 2 months. And if you're posting posts on your profile, you know, engaging content, bits about you, bits about your products, promotional, and a compelling first offer, you will be closing sales. Maybe 2 or 3 in the first month, but it will build and it will build and it will build, because you'll be adding 100 to 150 people who are interested in what you've got to offer, because you're talking about the pain points of it every single month. And all you have to do is keep building those relationships and reminding people the value you can bring. It's such a simple process. Lots of people overcomplicate it, worry about it, stress about it. But actually, you just need to become an expert in the benefits your customers receive from your service or product, and the downsides they receive from, say, competitors, or from poor quality, or the opposite of your benefits. And you talk about them and people will find you. Those people will come out of the woodwork, so to speak. So I am more than happy to do some demos now and show you how this works in real time. So I'm going to pick on Terry's here. So Terry, do you work with small business owners, large business owners, any particular business owners? Anybody want to put their type of business in the chat, and I will go through and show you how this strategy works in practice. So I'm on Facebook. Just while somebody's sharing what their business is, I will go and get onto Facebook and show you how this works, and we'll get going. So Terry. So Terry's selling promotional products to business owners, say. So there's a couple of different ways we can go with that. In a small business, it's probably the business owner who would be buying the promotional products. In a larger business, it would probably be the marketing department. So we can go down both or 2 routes, because they're all similar problems. It's very much an overlap. So we can go search on Facebook for marketing managers. And, oh, look, click groups. And there's a group here for Marketing Managers UK, SaaS Products and Marketing, Digital Marketing and Social Media, Marketing Ninjas, Social Media Managers, Marketing Agency. So there's quite quickly a marketing managers group that Terry could join. In fact, I'll join that because it's an interesting group. I'll join that. And as you can see, it's asking me for some it's asking me to prove something, and then it will send me and they will let me into the group. The rules of each group say that you cannot promote, but you can ask questions. Yeah, so that's a marketing managers. But then I could ask for small business owners. I'll put UK on here. And here we go, UK only small business owners networking. I'm already a member of that one. And I could do my post in here, and I could go So I'm writing here, do you think promotional products have value to customers? So some people are going to come back, Terry, on this post and say no. Some people are going to say yes. And then you can ask questions and reply back to them. So that post will go up, and as long as I'm not promoting something, they will share it. And as you can see, in these groups, is anyone doing A5 leaflets for cheap price needed 100 please? Yeah, there's lots of different people in these groups, and they'll be asking for things. But as you can see here, this guy here is doing how successful have people been with Google or Facebook ad campaigns, and he's getting those people who've not been successful to self-identify. See, they're all self-identifying. And then you would interact with those people who've self-identified with the problem that you can solve. And then what you do is you literally build the relationship with those and say, look, we can help you with this. If you want some promotional products, if you believe in promotional products, would you consider letting us quote for you next time you want something? Or can I send you some more information about it? And that's a very, very light, simple process that is very deliberate. It's very intentional, but you've actually created a process to to pull people through. Okay, Terry, here's a great one. If you're women business owners, and I don't mean to be sexist in this, but generally, Etsy store owners are female, generally. So you could go into the UK Etsy sellers, which is people who use the Etsy platform to sell. And then you can go into the groups, and you could join some of these groups on Shopify store owners, convenience store owners, and start to talk to them, particularly Etsy, because it's a more female-dominated platform, Etsy. You could use that as a route in. So very, 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 very simple strategy to follow there. And literally, I would go to my posts, and I would post things on a regular basis that would share things about what I'm doing. And I mix my personal and business profile together. So I mix it together because I want people to get a flavor of me and a flavor of what I do as a business. So I don't want to bore people with promo all the time. I want to mix it up. And as you can see, I do mix it up. So sometimes it's business. I don't know why that's posted twice. And sometimes it's personal. Business and personal mixed together so that people get a flavor of who I am and what I do. So it's not promote all the time. So it's very, very relaxed, very relational, but it works. People buy from people, and this will work for you regularly, consistently, without fail. Very, very, very simple strategy to follow. Okay, so I'm just going to recap, and then I'm going to do some more demos in a second. So let me just pull up my presentation. So we're going to adapt your personal profile and create a new work one. So if you're not comfortable mixing your personal and business life together, create a new one. Join the groups where your target audience are. You just Google at the top, search at the top on Facebook, tab to groups, and it will show you the groups that you want to be part of. Just whilst we're looking at the groups, make sure you're taking stock of the ones that are active. Don't really join groups that are not very active because it's dormant, so they're not going to see what you're doing. So try and join some active groups, and you'll see when you look at the post, it says how many posts have happened that day. So that's a great way to do it. Use big gun questions in the group to engage with the respondents. So just like that guy there said, has anybody had any success with Facebook ads? People will go, yes, no. He's interested. If he's selling Facebook ads, he's more interested in the no's, but he will engage with everybody so that he can build his audience of people who are interested or have had experience with Facebook ads. And that's what he's trying to do. And then he will continue on his profile to share posts and content that speak to the frustrations and the pain points and the challenges for people who want to run Facebook advertising. And he will make offers out there, send some messages occasionally to people and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. It's a great little offer if you're interested. If you're not, don't worry about it. Very, very low key. But if you do that with 8 questions and 8 groups, you'll post 64 questions in however many days you choose, and you will gain 5 new Facebook friends, targeted Facebook friends, ideal client profile Facebook friends in each day you post a question. So within 64 posts, you'll have over 300 people. Over 300 people. And then if you're posting on your profile, talking about all that stuff, they're going to start to see it. And if you keep up the algorithmic engagement, liking their stuff, they'll see you, comment on their stuff, they'll comment back, all that kind of stuff. It will keep you visible with your ideal clients on Facebook. And you don't need thousands. Yeah, you only need the 1 or 2 of the right people and your sales come in. You don't need thousands, but you play to 5 or 6 people a day. You will perfectly succeed in generating business, generating interest, and building a Facebook profile full of people who want, need, or are in the market for a service you offer. And it's a very, very simple process. So we engage with anybody who responds to our big gun questions in the group. We engage with people who post in the group that match our client profile. And we engage with popular posts. Why do we engage with popular posts in a Facebook group? Well, we do that because it helps us stay highly visible on the platform. People will start to see us in that group, and we become an integral part of that group's community. So we're not kind of going in there, doing our thing and getting out. We're really maintaining a high profile in that group to really cement our presence as somebody who contributes to the group, who answers other people's questions, but actually generates their own business from it too, generates revenue from it too. So we friend request anybody who have meaningful interactions with. So anybody who comments back to you, anybody who likes what you're doing, all of those things we do it. And when you send them a request, you can put the little message and just say, hope you don't mind, wanted to connect. Thanks for liking my post in the group. Very, very simple. You don't need to be pushy or pitchy. Just say, I hope you don't mind. I thought I'd send you a connection request because we've interacted in the group. And then on your profile, it's your promo zone. So you can share big gun content on your profile, but I try and mix it up so it's not promo or business. I share a bit of my personal life. It's my wedding anniversary today. I'm actually doing a webinar live on my wedding anniversary, which is interesting. I'm going to have to make up to my wife for that. But you share big gun content on your profile, but mix it up. And if any of you are my Facebook friends, you might see me get in trouble later when I've not been there for my wife on my wedding anniversary. No, we went out last week because it was a busy week this week. So, and build your ladder. In other words, build your level of relationship, get them to know you, build the interaction so that they see you, so that they trust you. And when you put out your compelling offer, which isn't weeks or months away, it can be days away, but when you build your compelling offer and put it out there, people trust you enough to say, I'll give this person a try. I'll test them with this. I'm not risking too much and I'll have a go and they'll get to know you. It's important when you're doing your profile as well. I'm going to flick back to something on Facebook. One of the other things that's really important, and you may think I'm mad here, is to make sure you've got some personal photos of yourself on the profile so that you do not look like you're fake. There's lots of fake people on Facebook. Make sure you're filling it out so that you look like a real person. There's nothing worse than looking at somebody's profile and it looks dodgy. So have a nice header, have a profile picture, occasionally put some pictures up, link to all your stuff, complete all of the details on your profile so that you don't look like you're brand spanking new or you're not even real. It's important that you do the work to build the engagement. Otherwise, you just look like a fake person, and you won't build any trust. You won't build trust. So it's very, very important that you complete the profile on a regular basis, and not just leave it to go dormant or stale. Otherwise, you end up in a very you've wasted your time. Now, there is another strategy I want to show you. This is a little bit different, but I'll show you anyway. And this is something you can do with your Facebook page as well. So I have a Dean Seddon Facebook page, and I'll show you on here because I can do it here. So on my Dean Seddon Facebook page, this is a different strategy again for Facebook pages. And we've actually got a book, a tutorial book on our store about this, but I'm going to show you tonight as well. So what you can do with your Facebook page to build an engaged audience, it's very, very simple. You can share posts with content. Very, very easy to do. So again, follow the pods method. So I'm just going to show you an example here of how this works in real time. And so you could write a post for your ideal client. Excuse me. Write a post for your ideal client with a bit of value in it. So whether that's promotional products, how to choose the right product, how to choose the right linens for your, how to find the right digital products, whatever it is you're looking to offer some value around the pain point and the outcome. Not selling, but write something. And then what you can do is on your page, you have the term boost. Now, this is a Facebook page growth thing. So when you click boost, let me just flick my ad account here so I can show you, because this isn't my ad account. I'll use this one. So what you can do is you can boost a post to a target audience. So what you want to do is boost a post for a week to a particular audience. So I could go, here we go, Oxford. And this is a very, very simple strategy. It'll cost you about 10 quid a week. And you can go into a category and you can broaden it out to cover as much or as little of Oxford as you like. I'll go a little bit wider. So let's say that's my catchment area for what I'm doing. Then I can choose my age range. This is very, very simple. I'm just going to show you quickly how the ad works. So as you can see here, I've got now a defined audience. Defined is obviously really important. And then you can start to tag interests. So again, to use Facebook ads really well, you have to understand your customer. And particularly for this strategy, you need to understand them pretty well, to understand what their preferences are, their interests, all of those things. So I could go small business owners if I wanted to target business owners. But if I wanted to target people who market for business owners, I could go Facebook page owners. Facebook page admins. So anybody who's an admin of a Facebook page in the Oxford area, I now see that I can send an advert to them. And within that catchment area, there's 380,000 people. And Facebook's saying it's defined. And then I come down to the bottom. Let me just scroll up. There we go. So that's my audience I've created. Now you can add more. Let's say you were trying to sell online. You could narrow your audience and put something like engaged shoppers, which is a profile map of people who Facebook think will be good for e-commerce. So now it's refined it down to say that these people are people who've clicked a shop now in the past week on Facebook. So I've got business owners or Facebook page admins who are buying through Facebook. See what I'm saying? So for me, this is a brilliant way to do it. And I've got the catchment area, so I can click save. Now, this isn't a perfect post for this. So if I wanted to redo this post, what I would do is, if I was targeting Oxford, I would pose a problem question. Are you a business in Oxford that's struggling to generate revenue post-COVID? ? And put some content, some value content in there so that it's hyper relevant to the people I'm targeting. And then all I do, very, very simply, is I put £10 on it and boost it for 7 days. Yeah. And I just literally click boost. Now, when people like or engage with that post, let me just wait for this to close and update. So when people engage with a post, let me just find one here that we can use that's got some... So when you click the likes here, Facebook gives you the option to invite the people who've liked it. So you can find your posts and invite the people who've liked it. And then you repeat that process every week. So literally put a post up, boost it to the target audience, make sure it's relevant to the target audience. The people who like it, you invite them. And then in between your boosted posts, you share content about your products or your services and engagement content to really build the audience up. And it's that simple. It's really, really straightforward. And as you can see, I've done this strategy on my own profile. Very, very simple. And you just repeat that process. And what you're doing is you are building a very highly engaged Facebook page with a group of people who like what you do and love what you do. And it's that simple. So if I go to our business page, I don't use my Dean one very often. Just bear with me and I'll pull this up. Facebook can't find my page. Why can't I find my business page? Let's do it the old-fashioned way. Bear with me a moment. I'll just pull up the page and then we can go from there. Don't you just hate it when Facebook won't do what you want it to do? So we'll clip down here, and here's Maverick, which is our company page. We'll go onto here, and you'll see this in real time. So that's all we're doing. Boost, boost, post, boost, and invite. And we've got a little book on our website where you can see this in action. But I'll just pull it up and show you. So again, you can see that the engagement is much higher and we're building an audience, and you just literally go on and invite the people and keep building, keep building, keep building. And when I look at my insights on the page, I'll show you now, you'll start to see your stats grow, and you'll see we're a little bit down. Actions on page 4, page views 194, post reach 141,000, and responsiveness, we're not very good on our Facebook page because that's generally because we use LinkedIn more so. But as you can see where all the interaction is. And this insight's really good because it helps you see what people find the most interesting on your page. And then you can start to go, well, actually, this is what matters. So boost, post, and invite is a very simple strategy you can employ on your Facebook page to build your audience. And it will help scale it up, build it up, And this week we've reached 91,000 people with our page with 1,800 followers. Very, very simple strategy. Dead simple. Anybody can do it. Of course, there are more complicated ways to do this, but to be honest, this is the simplest way to do it, and it will help you get the results that you want and build your page. Any questions? It's a very quiet session tonight. Last night it was a bit frenetic, but tonight's a little bit quieter. So any questions? Does anybody want me to run through any examples or show them any scenarios that would help them implement those two strategies? The first one being the 7 steps, the promo zone, the no promo zone, and then the boost, post, invite, post, boost, and invite. They're the two strategies. One's for pages, one's for profiles. And actually, when I ran this session a few weeks ago, we actually had somebody who 2 days later said, I've actually got clients from doing this. It was really, really simple, really, really straightforward. So does anybody want any questions? Any questions at all? More than happy to take questions, do some scenarios if you need it. Just whilst you're writing your questions, I'm just going to make you aware of this session here is supported and funded by Oxlep. So Oxlep have a series of toolkits that you can get hold of. So if you're based in Oxford area and you want to get more support for your business, Oxlep has some tools that will help you. The business support tool will get you help from a business advisor. And I tell you what Oxlep would love, which I'm going to share a link for, is if you go find them on Facebook. They love some support on Facebook, and there's their page. So Alice, I'm more than happy to look at yours. So Alice has said that she's in lace and linen. So let's just put it in to see. Oh, black. I don't think that works. So if we look at in the groups, and here we are, there's a lace and linen VIP group, antique and vintage fine lace and linens. There's tons of groups, Alice, that you could be part of, contributing, engaging with people, building the relationships and taking them onto your profile as contacts that you share an interest with so they get to know your business. So you just have to find the groups, have a look through the groups to find the ones that are more relevant to you. But this is a really straightforward way to do it. Very, very simple. Anybody can do it. And I love strategies, to be honest with you, where you can just get on and do it. There's so many things that are sold that are just tricky and seem straightforward. And then when you get into it, it's like, how do I do it? You just have to understand your customer well, understand their pain points, and effectively offer a solution. I spelled it wrong. Offer them a solution that will add value to them. It's really that simple. So Oxlep, if you want to find Oxlep Business is here. Do go and be part of the Oxlep page community. They do amazing stuff to help support businesses. So if you are a business owner and you really want to up your game, Oxlep are there to help you. That's what they're all about. They're not a business. They're government funded, European funded. So they're actually there to give you the best stuff and the best advice and the best resources. So do go support them and find out what they're doing. And if you want some help, you can get their toolkit. I put the link in the chat so you can get access to that. Export departments just made a valid point. What are the ratios? So there are 2 ratios, export department, that's good to think about. There's the first one is what I call the content sandwich. And it is that every time you want to promote something, wrap around it something that's more human, themey, amusing, interesting, insightful, non-promotional. So for every promotional post, you need something either side of it to anchor you as a human being and relational and that way on. If you're not promoting your products or services, but you're talking about it, that's not promotional. Promotional is where you talk about something and say, buy now, or here's my offer, or do you want this, or do you want that, where you're selling your wares. Non-promotional could be you're still talking about it, but you're not offering any call to action in any way, shape, or form. So that's the content sandwich. But just be aware, if you're just all talking business, people will get bored of that. So mix it up. Share some funny things. Share some personal pictures. But just remember, these are customers, so stay away from issues that could be divisive. Political opinions, things like that could be divisive. So if it's business, you want to build rapport. You don't want to alienate people because you have a difference of opinion on politics or something. So that's one thing. Then there is another method called the 411. I don't subscribe to the 411 just because I think it was great a long time ago, but I don't think it works anymore. So the 411 is it's basically a division of how you post, and on the 411 it says basically 4 posts should entertain or educate, 1 post should be a soft sell, and 1 post should be a hard sell. So a 411, 4 engaging posts, 1 soft sell, 1 hard sell. And when you actually look at that and go, well, okay, 4 posts, 6 in every 6, 2 should be promoting. In the content sandwich, it's actually for every 6 posts, 3 are promoting. That's the only difference. So the content sandwich is don't do sales, sell, mix it up. So 411 is 2 promo posts for every 4 engagement posts. The content sandwich is 3 promo posts for 3 effectively. In a week, if you're posting every day, you would sandwich your promo posts around content posts. So it's every other, whereas this is every 2. That's basically the 411 method. So mix it up, be real, be human, don't go on to controversial subjects, and talk about the pain points, the outcomes, the reason why it's important to make a decision, and the solution you offer. Really, really simple. It's those 4 steps that gets people to buy. So you need those things. Any other questions? Don't forget to go like Oxlep's page. They'll really appreciate that. So really do that. And they got some great resources there. So do go do that. Any other questions tonight from anybody? If not, we might finish early if you're all being quiet. You're a shy bunch tonight. Very, very shy. So, quick recap, 7 steps. 7 steps. I'll just put them up on screen in case you need to make a note again. No promo zone. Get your profile ready. Join the groups. 8 groups. 8 questions. 64 days of content there. Engage with people who post in the groups, who match your ideal client, or any popular posts. Comment on them, contribute to them, and engage with anybody who responds. Comment and reply and like anybody who responds to your questions. Then friend request anybody you've had a meaningful interaction with. Anybody you've interacted with in those groups, friend request them. And then switch to the promo zone, which is your profile. Share your big gong content. Mix it up with personal things too, so people can get to know the real you. Build your ladder, problem, outcome, decision, solution, to get people to your compelling first offer, which could be a quick conversation. It could be, you could do, one of the great things people are doing because of lockdown is they're doing interviews with each other, sharing their thoughts. They're going on Zoom, sharing it on their Facebook. You can do that. It's a great way to network with people. It's a great way to promote each other. And that builds partnership, that builds relationship, that helps you promote and get your business further and more widely known. So very, very simple things to do. Not hard in the slightest, and everybody can do it. Everybody can do it. Any other questions? I don't know about you, but today it's a really beautiful sunny day. It's really sunny here. I'm looking forward to, I'm going on holiday at the 1st of August, only staying in the country because of COVID, but I'm looking forward to just downing tools for a few days. So any questions about this strategy, any questions about the Facebook page strategy, which is very simple, very similar content in terms of no promos on content. Post, boost, invite. Post, boost, invite. And then in between those boosted posts, share other things, value pieces, promotional stuff in your page, and you will build an audience. Again, about 100 to 150 people as an audience each month on your page, and it costs you 10 quid a week to build that page, but that will really pay off in the long run. Any other questions? Going once? Going twice? Well, guys, we'll leave this link up so you can come and join it again. So do come back and watch this again for the next 24 hours. We'll share the link with those who've registered. Thank you for coming on this session tonight. We will be running sessions again next week with Oxlep. So do check those out, find them, because these are free resources to help you in your business recover from COVID. And do go hunt out Oxlep, find out more about what they can do for your business. They can help you with the business toolkit, the other events. They would love to help you as much as they can. So with that, nobody's asking questions, so I'm going to sign off and thank you for coming to this event, this training session by Oxlep, and we will see you all hopefully on the next one next week. So thank you for coming, everybody.